So, hello there, and welcome back to another Night of the Movies video. I'm, of course, Spike Knight, and in these videos, I love talking about things, movies and TV, and whatever I want, whenever I want. And in today's video, I am viewing Crime 101. So, let's get into it, shall we? Crime 101 is this new crime film, you guessed it, starring Chris Hemsworth alongside Mark Ruffalo, so a little union for them two from the Marvel movies. The film also stars Monica Barbaro, Halle Berry, and Barry Keoghan. So you got quite a stacked cast for this film. Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Monica Barbaro, Halle Berry, and Barry Keoghan. Actors who are all well known in their own light. Actors who could all arguably lead a film and do quite a good job doing so. So when I heard that this cast was assembled for this movie, I was quite interested. However, I saw the trailer, I want to say a couple of months ago now, and it didn't wow me. I thought, I'll probably end up seeing it, but it doesn't look like anything special. And I kind of felt the same way when I saw the trailer in the cinema, when I've been going to the cinema over the past couple of weeks. But I went to go and see it today nonetheless. I actually went to go and see it the first screening I could find because I thought, why not? And I actually ended up seeing it as well in an IMAX screening. I haven't been to an IMAX. Yeah, when I think about it, yeah, probably since Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Probably since release of that movie, which is a good couple of years ago now. Wow, I need to go to IMAX more. But anyway, yeah, this is the first film in a long time that I saw in an IMAX cinema, and I'm glad that I did so, because the experience alone was worth the admission. And anyway, the Google plot synopsis for this film goes as follows. A Los Angeles detective, played by Mark Ruffalo in this film, pursues an elusive thief, played by Chris Hemsworth in this movie, who teams up with an insurance broker, played by Halle Berry in this film, for one last heist. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about this film before seeing it. And honestly, I quite like this film. I thought it was a good movie. I wouldn't say it was a great film, but I would say it was a good one. And the reason I'm not saying it's a great film is because I think, listen, the film is 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's almost 2 hours and a half. And that's a long runtime, you know. And I think if it was 2 hours, it could have been a great film, you know what I mean? It could have been a really suspenseful and proper edgy seat type thriller, but I don't think it was that. I don't think the film quite had the drive, the sense of urgency that it could have had. And I also think it lacks suspense in parts. I do think it is suspenseful when it needs to be, but in certain scenes I was hoping to kind of be thinking, oh, I wonder who's on top here. I wonder who's actually going to come out on top. Whilst I never really felt like anybody was not going to succeed. I never felt like anyone was going to fail, apart from characters you expect to fail, you know? I wish there was a bit more to it. I think the characters could have been more fleshed out, and I think the story itself is predictable in large parts. Predictable in large parts where you don't want it to be. That being said, it's still a very entertaining movie, and I wouldn't say it was a bad movie at all. In fact, this is the sort of movie I would see on a streaming service if I didn't see it in a cinema, and I would end up having quite a good time watching. And I did have quite a good time watching it in the cinema as well, although I do think that is also partly down to the fact that I saw it in IMAX, and it was the first one I'd seen in IMAX for a very long time, at least it feels like a very long time. I haven't been to an IMAX in quite a bit of time, and I was watching the film and I was really feeling the IMAX experience, and I think me actually being engaged with the film helped that. I've seen a couple of films in IMAX before. Like, I remember seeing Rampage, the Dwayne Johnson film, in IMAX and really not enjoying it, even though it was in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX, you know. Whilst with this movie, I think my IMAX experience was enhanced because it was a good film, because the storylines, the plot lines, the whole narrative, it was engaging, it was interesting. You begin to care about these characters. Even so, I think that some of the characters, actually, even so I think that all the characters could have been more fleshed out, I still cared about them, and I did think the performances were really solid. I do wonder what the film would have been like with someone else in the lead role. I don't think Chris Hemsworth is a bad actor, not at all. If you watch the Ron Howard film Rush, he is amazing in that film. And I actually think he's quite good in the Marvel movies that he's in, even though I don't like the majority of the ones he's been in. But in this film, although he's good, there's a lot of subtleties in his performance which I hadn't seen from him before. I was also those parts of this film, and I was thinking, I wonder what it would have been like with someone else in the lead role. Still, like I said, I do think he is a good and surprisingly compelling lead when he needs to be. I think Mark Ruffalo was good as well. Monica Barbaro I thought was slightly wasted, particularly as the last film I saw her in was A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic, in which she played Joan Baez and was fantastic doing so. And I expected more from her in this film. She's basically just a love interest of Chris Hemsworth's character, and she didn't do a bad job. I just, kind of was hoping for more from her in this film, and hopefully she gives a bit more in the next. She's still good in the film. I don't think it's her problem actually. I think it's with the writing. So hopefully the next role she chooses is a little bit meatier. Although Halle Berry is really good. This is probably best I've seen Halle Berry in quite a bit of time. I mean, I haven't seen Halle Berry in a lot of movies, but yeah, I was watching in this film and it felt like she was really enjoying playing her role and that she threw herself into it. There's actually quite a lot of parts of the film where I didn't feel like I was watching Halle Berry, and I think that worked in her favour. Yeah, I thought she was actually one of the better parts of the film, surprisingly. And Barry Keoghan, he is the best part of the film. Every time he's on screen, he's so magnetic. He's a brilliant actor. He's playing Ringo Starr in the upcoming Beatles biopics. I cannot wait to see him do so. There's a couple of parts in this movie when I was like, well, actually, no, I can see he was Ringo Starr the more I think about it. So yeah, I thought he was fantastic in the film. And the film itself, it's got some great action set pieces in there. It's suspenseful in certain sequences when it needs to be. And it is a good watch. It's kind of like Heat, you know, the Michael Mann film starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino and Val Kilmer. It's kind of like that movie, although not nearly as good. Heat is a very good film, and I won't say this is a very good movie, but what I will say is, for a Hollywood blockbuster thriller, it succeeds, and it succeeds more than I thought it would do. It's actually got a bit of something about it in its direction as well. I'm not familiar with the director Bart Layton who made this movie, but the way he moves the camera, there's certain energy to certain scenes, and there's also quite a lot of close-up characters. He's quite intimate in the way he moves the camera, and I like that throughout the film. Yeah, I did think it was well made and had a bit more about it in the directing than perhaps other, Hollywood blockbuster thrillers that have come out over the past couple of years. And I also thought that the film itself was quite engaging to watch. Again, it's nothing special. I probably won't be thinking about this movie in about a month's time, but you know what? I enjoyed it quite a bit whilst it was on, and I'll take that. I thought it was a solid film. I think it could have been a great movie if it was 2 hours, but it's 2 hours 20 minutes nonetheless, and I do think it worked where it needs to. It was entertaining, and it's got some great parts to it. And that's what I'm going to take away from this film. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Crime 101, I'm going to say that it's a 7.5 out of 10. Yes, that's what I give films when I think they're just solid, nothing more, nothing less. And yeah, I thought it was a solid watch. Again, well made and, good performances were in there. And it took a little bit of time to get going, but once I got my head around everything, I thought it was quite a good watch. I just think the characters overall could have been better. I think the film thinks the characters are a lot more interesting than they actually are. A lot of the plot lines and the narrative stuff in this film, I feel like I've seen in other movies like this before and done better, to be honest. So yeah, I do think there could have been more to the characters. But apart from that, it works where it needs to, like I've already said. And I was genuinely surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I came out the cinema thinking, you know what, that was worth a watch. I'm not sure if I'd watch it again, but if you see this film at the cinema, I think you'll enjoy it. If you see it on streaming, I think you'll enjoy it. Heck, if you buy it on DVD, I think you'll enjoy it as well. Although, who buys DVDs nowadays, I'm not sure. But the point I'm making is, I think it's an enjoyable watch. Just, again, Not anything special. I don't think I'll be thinking about this movie in about a month's time. But who knows? Maybe that won't be the case, and actually it'll stick with me more than I think it's going to. But I just don't think that's going to be the case. But still, it was a solid watch. And yeah, like I said, it worked where it needed to, and it was suspenseful when it needed to be. I just kind of wish it was more suspenseful overall, you know? I just think there could have been a bit more to it, but there was enough to it for me to enjoy it, as I've already said. So, as I'm going to say once more in today's video today, Crime 101 is a 7.5 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. If you have seen Crime 101, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And if you haven't yet and you enjoyed the video, please do click down below and like and subscribe on this video. And look forward to many more videos like this coming very soon on this channel. As what he said, thank you for watching. Thank you as always for watching the video today. And I will see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.